dealing with this guy who was a drug dealer at the time. He went to jail. He left me like an ounce. And he was like, you know what, sell this. And like, you know, I would crush it up. You know, I was trying to sell it. You know, they say monkeys can't sell bananas. And so the person I was selling to was just like, you know, you're doing this the wrong way. And when she showed me how to get high, it was a wrap. I was done. It was a wrap.
All right, sis. So please tell me your name.
My name is Syretta.
How old are you and where you're from?
I'm 50 years old, and I was originally born here in Boston, but I was raised in Miami.
Oh, okay. So what brought you from Miami to Boston?
My addiction.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was running amok, and that 100-degree work.
Just a little bit louder because
I was, you know, what brought me to Boston, because for one, I was born here, but the life I was living through active addiction, I felt like, you know, I had to grow up and, you know, prioritize myself and get my life together. So I came, you know, they say home is where the heart is. So I came back here just to, you know, I specifically came back to Boston to get clean. That was my purpose for coming to Boston, was to get clean and, you know, just leave the drugs alone and get better for myself, because I deserve better.
That's beautiful. I love that. I love that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful thing. So are you homeless?
At the moment, I'm not homeless. I was fortunate enough. So when I've struggled with addiction. I am an addict in recovery. Crack was my drug of choice.
Okay, I was going to ask.
Yeah, crack was my drug of choice, and I'm 50 years old. But I started getting high, full-fledged crackhead high at 28.
Okay.
And then, you know, that's when it was out of control. I mean, my life was out of control, unmanageable. I mean, I was living like a savage. And so when I got exposed to recovery, and I was surrounded by people that did not use, I was like, this is a scam. Like, who can party or live their life without the use of drugs? You know what I mean? But when I began to see, you know, people with time, I was like, you know what? I can do this. I acquired a year and a half and I relapsed. And that was in 2000, and I got here in 2006, January 6, 2006. I went from the airport to a detox, from a detox to a holding. And like my recovery process hasn't been easy, but it's helped me be a better person, a better woman, a better friend, a better daughter, you know, a better niece, just a better individual all the way around. And I mean, through my active addiction, I mean, I've done things to survive, and I've been homeless. I've stayed in shelters. You know what I'm saying? I've, you know, done things. I'm not going to say I'm ashamed of. Yeah, I've done things for, you know, to survive, as far as being a woman on the street and stuff like that. But through my recovery process, and I realized my purpose. I found a purpose, and I finally got my shit together.
I love that. I love that.
I finally got my shit together, and I finally found my purpose, and I finally started to do some work on myself. I got a therapist, I got a psychiatrist. You know, I surrounded myself with women that wanted, you know what I'm saying, with women that were trying to get better, be better, and do better. And
I love it.
Yes, and
that's so beautiful.
Yeah, and so I'm at a place right now where it's been I don't even count the days that I don't use, because I'm just grateful not to be in that predicament.
Okay.
But because I don't even think of it as using. I think of it being as in a real dark place.
Yes.
I was in a real dark, sad, lonely place, and you know what I'm saying. Being in recovery, I had to step outside of that. I had to go to God. To be really honest, I had to, you know, they say you want to surrender. I had to go to God, because I had tried the detoxes, the groups, the meetings, the step work, and I was like, there's something going on inside of myself that ain't nobody gonna fix but my God.
Exactly.
And so once I allowed him to do what he does instead of, let him have his will and not mine. Once I did that, it was like, what, sky is the limit. I now have my own place.
I love it. So let's go back. What got you addicted? Like, how did you start, and how old were you?
Well, you know what? I started smoking weed at 14.
Okay.
In high school, I've always, my self-esteem was low. Everybody thought I was promiscuous, but I was just really hanging with the boys, smoking weed, listening to them talk about, the girls they were, they were dogging out and stuff. And so, 14, I started smoking weed. I was angry as a child. My mother raised me by herself. I had two older siblings that were raised in foster care, and so she managed to hold on to me. But there was a lot of verbal abuse and stuff like that. That's why it's like, I think the relationship, because it's hard for me to establish relationships with women due to the relationship that I have with my mother, because that's the first relationship you establish. Like, your father's gonna be the first man that loves you. You're gonna be the first, and your mother's gonna be the first woman that you're exposed to, and try to mold you and create you and uplift you. And I didn't get that. And so as I grew older, I began looking for love in all the wrong places. Before I started doing drugs, I was a stripper at 19. I got kicked out of high school, even though I did graduate later. I got kicked out of high school for fighting because I was very angry as an adolescent and a young adult. And she got tired of my stuff, and she shipped me off to Holland, Michigan, not knowing that my aunt was a full-fledged crackhead.
Oh no.
Yeah, she was a full-fledged crackhead. I had been in Florida. I had to go up to Michigan. It was snowing and stuff. So I was already on the defense, like, you know what? I had to walk to the school. But this was my first time being exposed to the snow, the school bus, bunch of white kids, if I can say that. Like, out of the class of 92, I was the only black female. And my cousin was the only black male. But due to the fact that my mother sent me to my aunt, who was in active addiction, it gave me that, oh my goodness, like, I began to be buck wild. You know what I'm saying? Now I can get out.
You could do it.
Yeah, I could spend the night. Yeah, out and get out. I was smoking weed, and when I think back, when my aunt used to do drugs, when I was 18, I was crushing up crack and putting it in my cigarettes, and it took me a long time. Well, wait a minute. They said, well, when did you start getting high? It wasn't at 28. It was at 14 with weed. It was at 19 with coke, and it was like 22 with crack.
Okay.
But I didn't start hitting the pipe until I was 28, because I didn't even, I was dealing with this guy who was a drug dealer at the time. He went to jail. He left me like an ounce, and he was like, you know what, sell this. And like, I would crush it up. I was trying to sell it. They say monkeys can't sell bananas. And so the person I was selling to was just like, you're doing this the wrong way. And when she showed me how to get high, it was a wrap. I was done. It was a wrap. And listen, I was done. I really was. But I'm grateful for my experience, because it has molded me into the woman that I am today. You know what I'm saying? I don't regret my past.
Absolutely.
I can
and
stare
it
my
shows you are beautiful.
Thank you. I actually have a nonprofit organization where, because I'm a survivor of domestic violence, that played a lot into my addiction too.
Okay.
And so I provide free beauty services to survivors of domestic violence.
Oh, that's
homeless
awesome.
people and addicts, such as myself. So
how do they reach you?
Well, I have a website called Beyond a Better Image, inc.org.
Okay, I'll put that on this video. Okay.
And I'm just grateful to be able to tell my story. That's just like just everyone has a story, and I'm always be an addict. But what I do to apply myself, purpose.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
I have a purpose today. And that's what I think individuals, they're like lost souls. I was like I said, I was in a dark, lonely, scary place. But when God allowed me to find my purpose, it was on and popping.
I know that's right.
It was on and popping, like, you know.
And that's helping others.
Yeah,
I love
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
That's my purpose too.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing better than helping others.
Yeah.
People don't know the reward
Right.
you get.
Yeah, like I don't let, like, when I was out there using, it was like getting high is a full-time job.
It is.
It's getting high is a full-time job. You don't get no off days. You don't get no vacation pay. Ain't no 401k. You don't get no personal time, no sick time.
No, that's
Listen,
right.
you on the go 24 fucking.
No, it's okay.
24/7. But the thing about it is that living that life and having that past and experiencing, you know, my experience with doing drugs. Today, money don't move me.
I know that's right.
I don't, you know what I'm saying? I've worked at plenty of shops and made plenty of money, but now it's like, you know what? I can't take that. I can't take that money with me to heaven. I want to make a mark on this world. I want people to, you know, say, you know what, Syretta, I remember she was doing this and doing that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to, you know, I want to leave a good taste in people's mouth.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that you're in recovery. Such a beautiful soul. Do you have kids?
I don't have any kids.
Oh, okay.
No.
You got a whole fresh start to do what you gotta do, sis.
Yes.
And do you have any advice for anybody who is still on drugs?
Anybody, the only thing I can say, what I want to say to those who are still in active addiction, give yourself a chance. Give yourself a chance to be better, do better, and get better. Is, you know, and get some therapy. That's where it starts at. Do some work on yourself. It might be hard. You don't want to face. Some people don't get high because they don't want to face that stuff that you know, they have shame and guilt. But you know, give yourself a break. It's only one you, and only you can love you first. You know what I'm saying? Only you can give yourself a chance. Give yourself a chance. Give yourself an opportunity, and start loving on yourself.
I love that. All right, so I'm not going to keep you for much longer.
No,
God bless you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, if you need me again, I'm here.
That's beautiful. What you're doing for the community is beautiful.
Yes.
Sharing your story is going to help people.
Thank you. And you need to give me your YouTube page.
Yes, absolutely. I certainly will.
Thank you so much.